Hi there, my name is Philo Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring that little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And you're going to be in a bit of a contemplative mood this morning. I just saw last night that Stephen Moffat put out has written a short story featuring the 12th Doctor, and I was really upset. I didn't read it. I didn't read it last night. I only read it this morning. But I was really upset that he did that because I felt this legitimizes the 12th Doctor, and I really, really, really don't want the 12th Doctor to be legitimized. I don't really like the 12th Doctor. I can pretty much come off the event and say I absolutely loathe the Chris Chibnall, Jodie Whittaker era. I just loathe it with every fibre of my being, which I think we're going to talk about quite a lot in this video. But I was upset. I was indeed upset when I saw that he'd written the story. But I said, you know what, let's read the story. You know, I'm not a fan of condemning things or condemning or condoning things that I have no knowledge of. But my initial reaction was, oh really? What's going on there, Stephen? Why, mate? Why are you doing it? What's going on? Because it seemed to me that during the tweet-alongs for especially the first one, what was it? Dare the Doctor. That he was throwing some shade, quite a lot of shade, onto Chris Chibnall's era as a showrunner for Doctor Who. So I was really what, is he backtracking from that? Are you making up? I wasn't sure. So again, you know, you can't really make any judgments without knowledge. So I read it this morning, and boy, is that a good story? You know, it's like Stephen Moffat. The boy can write. The boy can really write. If you haven't read it, I do recommend you read it. The spoilers, I will be talking about it quite extensively during this video. But I really, really recommend you read it. It's a longer story as well. It's not as short as the other ones. It took me about 10 minutes to read it. I was quite surprised how in depth it was, and I think it's probably the best thing we've seen with the 13th Doctor. We're gonna get into all that in the video. But before we get there, can I ask you guys, can you hit the subscribe button? Hit the subscribe button. Make a rabbi happy today. And you know what? It's the Jewish holiday of Passover tonight. So, you know, what better time to tickle a rabbi's fancy than by hitting the subscribe button. So subscribe, like, share, all that stuff is good. I give stuff away every week on the channel. And I finally managed to get envelopes and package everything up. There's only two more I got to get addresses for. But I packaged everything up. I'm really hoping to get them in the mail this week. I know there's Max and Marks, if you're watching. I'm so sorry. I got your one still sitting at the. It's got this guilt generator coming out from it. He won the. Was it the Sil Blu-ray? So I'm so sorry. If you want me to send you a digital copy while you're waiting, I am so genuinely sorry. I'm genuinely sorry to everybody who I've made wait for way too long. So hopefully you guys who win this next one won't be waiting too long. This is what we're giving away this week is 2 stonking great Peter Davison stories. We have Black Orchid, Fort to Doomsday. I was going to say Black Orchid. I hold up Fort to Doomsday. Fort to Doomsday, the first story he recorded as a Doctor, and Black Orchid. I was just going to go with Black Orchid, but I thought, that's a little bit too late, you know, for even I'm giving it away. So all you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribing being the important part, and in the comments leave the hashtag celery. So that's what you need to. Also, go and check out the video notes. I might be changing today. I might be getting around to changing today, but there's always a Doctor Who audio story you can download. Starring Nicholas Briggs as a Doctor from a fan group from the mid-80s called Audio Visuals. That went on to become Big Finish. Okay, that's all the shopkeeping stuff taken care of. So I was really upset Christian. I was really upset that Steve Moffat wrote the story. I was like, oh man, this is just adding so much legitimacy to the 13th Doctor. So I realized yesterday I put out a video about the Shill fan media, SFX magazine, who are so ideologically in the bag for everything I hate about the current state of genre of Star Trek, Star Wars, Doctor. Yeah, they're so in the bag ideologically, right? And they won't acknowledge any criticisms of that. There's so many criticisms to be made. So I've been really getting honked off with them. I nearly cancelled my subscription, but now with Doctor Who, they're in a real pickle because they're torn because they're really ideologically in the bag for this. Nerdrotic is a great term for the vanity politics. The vanity politics that Chris Chibnall has infested with Doctor Who. So they're very, they really they conflated the idea that if you're not on board with this vanity politics, it's because you're a bad person, because you're evil. You're one of the naughty people for the National Socialists from the 1930s Germany. They conflated morality with political difference. It's just the stupidest thing that's ever happened, and I think one of the most destructive things to society. So, but they've also loved Doctor Who. They also genuinely love Doctor Who. That's how they become, writing. So now they're really torn because everybody knows that the Timeless Children destroys Doctor Who. It absolutely does destroy Doctor Who on many, many, many levels. Again, it takes all the stakes out of it. There's because Doctor Who can't die. There's there are gazillion million plot holes. But there was a gazillion million plot holes within the actual episodes themselves. The whole idea of saying surprise as some kind of plot point over and over again is not really working out. So they're really, really torn because they really don't want to. They don't want to disparage the current Doctor Who at all because they're so in the bag. They're so on board with their partisan vanity politics. And to not be on board with it, it's like they're saying, "Oh, I support the evil people, the Brexit people, the Trumpy people, all those, but they love Doctor Who and they don't want to see it blown up either. So they're like, So I was quite enjoying their existential crisis, which is not very nice. It's always good to be nice. I was doing that, and then. Well, for me, it's not a problem because I've totally rejected this 13th Doctor era. Completely rejected it. So for me, it's not real, and I'm thoroughly of the opinion it's going to get retconned out of existence sooner rather than later. And I hope it happens sooner rather than later because right now we're at the point where if this looks like it's going to continue, like for season 13, if it's going to continue. What happened now? You've alienated the British public, the viewing British public, and we're just down to really the fan audience, and the fan audience is leaving, and the fan audience is really the large portion is just staying on for hope that this idiocy is going to end. That's why they're staying on because like me again, if I didn't have this channel, I would have really been out by Orphan 55, because it's just an agonizing hour of my week. I'm so glad that it's over. It was only 10 weeks. It seemed like 100 years. Reviewing that season 12, it was freaking awful. Although there were good bits in it. I like the Cybermen. I like the Master. Just feel bad that they're lumbered with this era. Slash the one as well. God bless him. He's so happy to get the role. I love that enthusiasm. I love that loving of Doctor Who. Which you just don't get from the current era. So I was really disappointed that Stephen Moffat wrote the story, and it's an interesting story. It's a good story. It's an interesting. I really recommend you write it. Now you can interpret the story in many ways. You can say, listen, Chris Chibnall said, look, I got this crap. People saying you're throwing shade at me. Can you write a 13th Doctor story to show that you're not? And I can believe, just out of a level of professionalism, that he would do that. But also, by the nature of the story, I think he's telling the fan audience that like me who really really loathes this era to calm down because this is the most angry I've ever seen people about Doctor Who. It really, and I was around in the 80s during the John Nathan Turner JNT Must Go campaign. I was there, and that was real. Hey, DWB every week had a different. Every issue was it monthly had a different anti JNT headline and cover. Every freaking week. I remember that. What's that pub you used to go to? The Tavern? Fitzroy Tavern. Listen, if anybody's in England, in London, watching this, let me know in the comments if the Tavern's still going on. That was like a fan meeting. Was it first Thursday of every month? It was really cool. I really used to enjoy it. Like a mini con. It was great. I wonder if that's still going. That was awesome. Anyway, so I was upset that he did this, but it's a really good story, and so that it could be he's showing support for the current production out of pure professionalism, or I think he could be saying to the fans, "Calm down, it's not real." It's not real, and it's gonna get fixed. I had a back and forth with I shouldn't say it, but somebody very involved with the production of Doctor Who on many different platforms, shall we say, who was a personal friend of Chibnall, and said, look, he's one of the nicest people ever, but his vibe was, and he wouldn't say this explicitly. This was my vibe from what he was saying. It was like, it's all going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Everything just calm down. Just kind of because so there's two things the story says that really like interest. Firstly, it's a great story. It's a really well written little story. But when I was reading it, I found two interesting things going on. One, that if you read the lines in the 13th Doctor voice, I get annoyed. I'm like, ugh. Ugh, I can't stand her performance because there was all this like negativity built up against her portrayal, which I think is a portrayal of pure disdain, of like just utter disdain for the property, for the character. It just is. It's like it's a silly children's character. That's the feeling I get. So every time I see her play Doctor Who, it annoys me. But I reread them in Tennant's voice because they have, she basically rips off Tennant's style of performance. She basically, if you read it in Tennant, it was a much better story. It was like I got rid of that irritation. Now the other thing is that struck me is they said twice about the Doctor not being cruel or cowardly, which is something I've really had a problem with in this era of Doctor Who, especially the Timeless Children, where she let somebody else sacrifice himself for her for no apparent reason. And also in the one with the fingers when she just couldn't give hope to Graham. Oh, just was cruel and cowardly. The way she acted to Ryan's father was cruel and cowardly. It just is that this Doctor is, that's what it is to be a social justice warrior. Social justice warriors are the worst people humanity has ever produced, as we're seeing now. As the comic book industry is implode and it was infested and occupied by social justice warriors. And they haven't been dealing very, very well with their fall from grace now, have they? If you've been following that story, but that's just what it is to be a social. And it's full of vanity politics. Vanity politics, which is so imbued with the 13th Doctor. So you got that going. So I think that's one thing he'll say. But so at the end of the story, they say, "Look, I'm a fictional character." The Doctor says that comes across as being a fictional character. Again, really, I don't really spoil the twist of the story. It's really cool. I really recommend you read it. But it's at the end of the story, it says the Doctor is a fictional character, and as such, I think he's telling us fans who are upset by these revelations that to calm down, not to worry. Which, much like the other person who again involved in production of Doctor Who on many platforms, I think that's what he was saying as well. So I think it's kind of a hopeful, optimistic message. I think this is the absolute best if you can if somebody me who absolutely loathes the 13th Doctor can read this and get through it. I'm really glad that Moffat dispelled my initial disappointment and upset that that he was legitimizing the series. I don't think in hindsight, I really don't think he did. But it's although again, I was very clever because I don't think he wasn't directly throwing shade on onto it either. But as to say, my real hope is that this these dark days we've been having in fandom, this rift in fandom, where at least now we can talk about it, as I think the majority of fans are not on board with the Timeless Children. They're just not. It's just the reality of it. I'm hoping like this divide in fandoms will come together. And I think if we could just look, if that is what Moffat was saying, look, calm down. It's not real. It's fictional, and fiction we have control over. Fiction we can fix. If that is what Moffat is saying, I think it's a good message to live your life by either way. because it's going. Yeah, it tells you just like we get very upset. We do get very upset because we love Doctor Who. We're passionate about it, and we do get upset. I personally do get very upset. But I think it's a mistake to get upset at other people. Yeah, I understand being upset at the situation, be upset with the direction and taking to it, but I think it's a mistake, especially other fans. As though, I think this was a pretty good message, a fair depiction of the 13th Doctor, whilst not being complimentary, is not being disparaging either. So yeah, look, thumbs up to Moffat. Great little story. Have my recommendation. The title of the story is "The Terror of the Umpty Ums," which is really kind of fun. And when you find out what that title really means, the story just becomes fun. So thank you very much, Mr. Moffat, for taking your time to write the story, and I think doing whatever you can to cause some kind of healing within fandom, a healing that we so desperately need. My name is Phelan Beckett, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, subscribe, ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop, and have yourself a fantastic day.